oh god, this heat in the Netherlands is undoable. But even though this is almost an unbearable summer, we have a new video! Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's so good to be back again and I can finally share with you guys this project that has been laying around finished since January. That's so long, but I finally got around to make a video for it. And it is a 1950s gala dress, which I affectionately call the Merry Widow. And for this project I used an advance pattern, which is an actual vintage pattern from the 1950s, 1960s. And it came all the way from the United States, so it took a really long time before it reached my house. And then I got around to sew. As is often the case with vintage patterns, of course it wasn't in my proper size, because sizing back then was very different from sizing now, so I actually had to make a few adjustments after I made the first mock-up, which was terribly too small. For this project I used a very polyester taffeta, but it was only 3.5 euros a meter I think, so I thought why not. And I thrifted some of the thread and I had some bias tape I thrifted. Later on it showed that was not the most clever thing I've ever thought of, as the thread is very prone to breaking. So the first time I actually wore the dress when it was finished, the seams broke. However, first things first. Because this pattern was way too small for me, I thought, okay, either I'll just give this up or I'll try to change the pattern to my size. And I came across this very good YouTube video from Queen De Luxe, where she explains how to alter vintage patterns to your size. And the funny thing is that in her thumbnail she actually has an advanced pattern as well. So what I started with doing was to slash the pattern in 3 parts, and then I did the math, and then I would spread the pattern so that it would fit my actual size. And this worked really well, albeit that I went with the measurements that were on the pattern envelope, and these were maybe not really true to size. So I had to adjust the pattern a little bit after I made my first mock-up. So after my second mock-up, I wrote down what had to be changed and altered. I transferred it directly to the pattern and I just got to sewing. Oh, look at all those pattern pieces, there are so many! And what sewing project is complete without machine struggles? After getting my act together, I finally got to sewing, and from now on it actually was quite easy. And the bodice starts taking shape. Let me do a little turn. And now onto the skirt, which you can see me hem. The split needed some hand stitching, which I'm actually getting better at now, so nowadays I don't find it as tedious as I used to. And now a part where I cheated a little bit, dear viewers. I'm using something we call stick in the Netherlands, as an old friend of mine used to call it. And this you can actually use to hem a fabric without sewing. Perfect! A little trick on the belt. De-adjust the skirt panels. And then it was done. It was quite a journey because I had to adjust so many things, and I even think I didn't even film the skirt portion, the overskirt, like the panels. But that was really easy because you just made two huge panels, sewed them together, turned them inside out and put them on the waistband. And then that was done. So that wasn't really hard, but I think I did this off camera because at some point I got a little bit tired of this project, but I'm super happy with the end result. And before we go to the reveal, you may have been wondering why this lady is standing beside me. And that is so I can show you what underpinnings I wore under my dress, which were vintage bullet bra I got from the Bobby Pin boutique in, I think, Rotterdam, and my 50s corselet that you've seen me make in one of my previous videos. And I completely felt like Katy Perry or Lady Gaga or maybe even Madonna, and I really felt that my boobs have never been more prominent than when I wear this thing. Underpinnings really do make a silhouette from the time, as this gives you quite the conical shape that was really fashionable in the 1950s. Unfortunately, I'm a sloucher, as you can see, and it doesn't always show the silhouette that well, I'm afraid, because I'm such a sloucher. But I guess there were other people too in the 1950s who had bad posture. Hey ho, what can you do? So now onto the reveal. And so we've reached the end of the video. I would love to know if you've ever upscaled or downscaled a vintage pattern as well. Maybe you've even made this pattern. Please let me know in the comments below or tag me in pictures that you have got. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe, tell your neighbor, tell your cat, and help this channel grow. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye! Beep, beep.